My friends, it's great to be back in beautiful Scarborough. I just love the people out here in Scarborough, and from day one in politics, you've always supported our family and you've always had our back, and I can tell you we will always, always have yours. And my brother Rob, he absolutely loved the people of Scarborough. He fought for you day in and day out down at City Hall. And no issue was more important to Rob than delivering rapid underground transit to the people of Scarborough. Rob was the true champion for delivering subways to Scarborough, and I remember him standing up in council, Scarborough, Scarborough, subway, subway. I'll never forget that. And after years of work, we're finally making a huge, huge progress. And as sure as I am standing here today, we're going to deliver the full 3-stop Scarborough subway. Because, my friends, I made a promise to the people of Scarborough. You've been waiting for over 30 years for subways. The crowding and the congestion on the Scarborough RT is a disaster, and we're going to fix it. We're building this subway. We're making a historic investment, a nation-building investment in transit for the Greater Toronto Area. We have a $28.5 billion subway plan, which is one of the largest in North America, 4 new subway lines, the most ambitious transit project this country has ever seen. 4 new projects to reduce gridlock and congestion, create more jobs and opportunity, and help drive construction of more homes. Since we announced our plan, we've moved quickly. We've secured strategic partnerships with the City of Toronto and York Region to advance these projects. And I have to give a special thanks to Mayor Tory, who has been an absolute champion for these projects. Mayor Tory has been a champion for subways in Scarborough. We also have the support of our municipal partners in Mississauga, Vaughan and Markham and Richmond Hill. We wouldn't be here today without the support of our municipal partners. We've passed legislation to remove roadblocks for these projects, to get shovels in the ground faster. And earlier this month, 3 teams were shortlisted to bid on the Scarborough Subway Extension tunneling work. 3 highly qualified, widely recognized contenders to build better transit faster for Scarborough. Today, I'm excited to announce, right here in Scarborough, we are issuing a request for proposal to advance tunneling work for this subway line. We will be inviting each of the teams to tell us how their plans will help deliver the $5.5 billion project. Folks, the people of Scarborough have been waiting. They never complain. They've never seen a project worth $5.5 billion. This is a critical step forward to the Scarborough subway. There is no going back now. And during construction, this project will support 3,000 full-time jobs. And talking about full-time jobs, I want to thank the great people at TTC. I've been saying hello to all the folks. These guys are champions. They've been going throughout this whole pandemic, so thank you, each and every one of you. Once built, the new subway extension will be able to handle over 100,000 daily boardings. 34,000 more jobs will be accessible to people within 10-minute walk of the new stations. It will drive the development of more housing options, and it could cut carbon emissions. This is important, cutting carbon emissions by over 10,000 tons a year. That's why we need more subways, my friends. We will build a modern, reliable transit system for the people of Scarborough. My friends, this is what we mean when we say we're getting Ontario back on track. We're firing up the economic engine of this province. These projects will create thousands of jobs, put more opportunities in reach of businesses, and help our communities and neighborhoods recover. But we can't do it alone. Again, I have to call on the federal government to join us as full funding partners, commit at least 40% of the funding for these nationally significant subway projects, and support the recovery of our national economy. And I will continue to press the Prime Minister to come to the table. We need all 3 levels of government supporting subways in the GTA. We need the federal government to support the people of Scarborough. We need the federal government to support subways for Scarborough, and we're going to keep going until every community, every worker, every family gets back on their feet. I thank you, And God bless the people of Scarborough, and God bless the people of Ontario. Now I'll pass it over to Minister Surma. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Premier Ford. Our government is committed to building better public transit faster so that people can get to where they need to go. And today we are taking another step towards delivering on that commitment. I am thrilled to be here with the Premier to provide an update on this historic subway project. On August 5th, we announced that Ontario has shortlisted 3 teams to advance the tunneling work on the Scarborough Subway Extension project. With proposed stops at Lawrence Avenue and McCowan Road, Scarborough Centre, and Shepherd Avenue and McCowan Road. And in the coming days, we will be inviting these teams to respond to an RFP and to formally detail how they plan to design and deliver advanced tunneling works for the project. Procurements for the Scarborough Subway Extension are being staggered, starting with the tunneling contract to ensure we can successfully deliver the project on time. We are leveraging existing planning and design work already undertaken to accelerate tunneling for this project. We are delivering the subway that the people of Scarborough deserve and doing it as quickly as possible. Our government is committed to ensuring improved access to a modern, reliable rapid transit network, bringing rapid transit to new neighborhoods with an estimated 100,000 boardings each and every day. This project will provide significant relief to the busy commutes we've all experienced. It will ease congestion on the roadways and provide greater connectivity to Scarborough residents. It will also connect more people to jobs and drive business investment. We know that Scarborough and communities across Toronto and the GTA cannot wait any longer. They need transit and transportation relief, and they need it now. That's why our government passed the Building Transit Faster Act, which provides the tools needed to make sure the 4 priority transit projects, including the 3-stop Scarborough Subway Extension, are built as quickly as possible. But we also need all funding partners at the table. We continue to call on the federal government to provide its fair share, funding at least 40% of the Scarborough Subway Extension and our other 3 nationally significant subway projects. Formalizing this funding partnership with the federal government remains a top priority, given the significant benefits to the local, regional, provincial, and national economy that Ontario's plan will generate over the next 10 years and beyond. Together, we can deliver a rapid transit network that will move Ontario and Canada forward. Thank you. I'd like to pass it over to the President and CEO of Metrolinx, Phil Verster.
Thank you, Premier. Thank you, Minister Surma. When the Premier announced in April last year that there'll be a substantial expansion to the subway program, we set about to finalize the reference concept designs and the design work of these programs. And we did our geotechnical and borehole drilling to understand what's on the ground. And most importantly, we rapidly started our procurement process. And we went to the market with a request for qualifications. We got a very wide range of international and Canadian companies have expressed an interest. And over the months, we've whittled it down to 3, and we've got 3 very experienced bidders that will now participate in this request for proposals. And for us to be in a request for proposal stage and in market at this part of the project is very exciting, because it shows the great momentum we have to deliver this fantastic project for the communities in Scarborough. And you've heard the references to how many daily riderships we expect and the jobs close to the stations. And I think what's really important, it's part of creating a network for transit in the GTA. And you can see that an extension to Line 2, which the Scarborough extension is, will connect people to all of Line 2, but also via PAPE, create the interface to the Ontario line, and then also transfers at Kennedy to the Stouffville line for GO, as well as a transfer at Kennedy to the Eglinton Crosstown LRT. What's also really important for me, and I'm pleased to just confirm that our Communities Benefit Program will be part of what we do in this project. And our Community Benefit Program that we've rolled out on all of our large projects and our LRTs have two components to it. It's got an apprenticeship and a workforce development component whereby disadvantaged groups as well as youth at risk groups are given opportunities to get employed, and it's been hugely successful on other projects such as Eglinton Crosstown, and also where we encourage the successful proponent and bidder to procure quite a lot of services, a whole range of services, from food and beverages through to printing services to local procurement with local businesses. We're very excited about those programs. But mostly, we're very excited about this project. This will be great for Scarborough, it'll be great for Toronto. Thank you for the opportunity to share that with you, and I'm asking Minister Cho to make a few comments.
My name is Raymond Cho. I'm MPP for Scarborough North Riding. Thank you, Minister Kinga Surma, and I'm joined with my colleagues, MPP PJ Tanisangalam, and MPP Christina Mitas, and MPP Alice Babakian. Thank you for joining me today. And I'd like to thank the Minister, Kinga Surma, especially Premier Ford. When Premier Ford and I were Toronto City Councillors, we fought for Scarborough Subway. Today, under the excellent leadership of Premier Ford, it becomes a reality. Pardon me, my eyesight is kind of blurring. And this is the longest subway Canadian history. And with this subway, like Premier said, like Minister Kinga Surma said, it'll create many, many jobs. Yeah, okay. Yeah, sorry, yeah. This is a part of the largest subway expansion in Canadian history. And I'm very excited to be part of this historical moment. I'd like to thank Premier Ford, Minister Kinga Surma, for delivering this great news for the people of Scarborough. And thank you everyone for coming. Thank you.
First question, please.
Yeah, I just want to tell the
First
people at
question
home,
comes
sorry, just 1 second. It's extremely bright out here, and it's hard to see the notes on the screen. So Raymond, you did a great job, buddy. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, first question.
First question comes from Haley Cooper at News Talk 1010. Please go ahead.
How you doing, Haley?
Thank you. Hi, Premier.
Hi.
So, Premier, News Talk 1010 revealed the details of its exclusive poll today, and the majority of parents are very clear that your government has not reassured them that sending their kids back to school is safe, and they don't care how the sausage is made. They want the politics left on the table, and just be clear about how you are going to keep kids safe in September. So what's your reaction to that?
Well, Haley, I understand the parents are nervous. I have 4 girls. I get it. We have the best plan in the country, bar none, end of story. When we consulted with sick kids, when we consulted with the health table, consulted with the Ministry of Health, and when Dr. Williams, the chief medical officer in the entire province, approves it, I think it's a really good system that we've put in place. Now, we're pulling out all the stops. We're putting in cleaning services, hiring 1,300 cleaners. We're spending $25 million on cleaning. When we're doing transportation, we're spending $1 billion on transportation alone, getting the kids from home to school. We're cleaning the buses twice a day. We're pulling in the reserves until they can hire more teachers. On top of that, we're putting another $30 million in to hire more people. We're making sure that it's mandatory, and the only province in the country right now, and everyone's following our lead, to make it mandatory for grades 4 up to grades 12, mandatory masking. And we're making JK to grade 1 optional. I could keep going down the list as I do every single day, but I fully understand the situation the parents are in. And the parents I talk to, it's not so much about the plan, it's about the COVID. They're nervous about COVID. I'm nervous about COVID. But we're doing everything in our powers through the medical advice, the health table, the chief medical officer, to come up with the best plan going. And as far as I'm concerned, as Lucas from your radio station, 1010, compared note by note of all the provinces versus us, we're so far ahead of the rest of the country, it's staggering. So we're going to continue being flexible. We're going to listen. And when, for instance, when the teachers union wanted more venting, boom, within seconds, HVAC, $50 million, putting it in. When they wanted more money, they wanted us to go to the reserves. We went to the reserves. They wanted more cleaning. We went and got the cleaning. Everything everyone has requested, including our health table, we're doing. But if there's any other ideas out there, we're always open. We're flexible, because everyone wants to make sure we have a safe environment for our students to go back to the school in the safest manner possible, and to protect the teachers as well.
Follow up.
And so my follow-up, the majority of respondents to this poll, over 70%, do not believe the education approach to back to school is the right one. They actually believe the decision-making should be coming from the Ministry of Health and Minister Christine Elliott. So would you be open to shifting that? And is that an idea that you would be flexible with?
Well, it's ironic. It did come from the Ministry of Health. The minister sits at the health table along with all the health experts, some of the greatest doctors in the country, with consultation with the boards, consultation with sick kids, consultation with the chief medical officer. So as much as Minister of Education, which I think he's one of the best ministers I've ever seen, puts the plan forward, it wasn't the Doug Ford plan, it wasn't the Stephen Lecce plan. It was a combination of all the people that we got advice off of. And I'm always going to listen to the doctors. And I'm going to listen to the doctors over the teachers' unions. It's plain and simple. I'm listening to the healthcare. I'm not going to listen to the head of the unions that are playing politics. It's as simple as that. I'll listen to the teachers. I'll listen to everyone. And even when the unions did speak up, the head of the unions, and I differentiate between labor and labor leadership always. I love the frontline folks. But when they asked for those 3 things, immediately we got them. So I don't know what more you can do than just continue to support. If someone else has any ideas, we're listening. Simple as that.
Okay, next question.
Next question comes from Robert Benzie from the Toronto Star. Please go ahead.
Hi, Robert.
Hi, Premier. I know you spoke with Jamie Tumulty earlier about this, but I wanted to ask you, for the rest of us, about your thoughts on Chrystia Freeland being the new federal finance minister, and what this means for Ontario, and what you are looking for in the future. As you are asking for money for the Scarborough subway.
Yep.
Is it going to be helpful that you have someone who you trust and who has been an ally of yours for some time during the pandemic?
Well, there's no secret. I think the world of Chrystia, I've sent her a message this morning. She was swamped as Deputy Prime Minister, and if there was one person I have confidence in, it's Chrystia Freeland, that we can work together. We can sit down, pick up the phone, and one of the first phone calls, to let her get settled in. But we need money for the transit system. We're building a $28.5 billion transit system with cooperation and collaboration between municipalities and the province. And it's just traditional that the federal government comes in and supports the projects by 40%. but there's no better person I'd want to work with than Chrystia Freeland. She's going to do an incredible job. She's a good friend, and I can't wait to start working with her.